Rashad Holloway, junior middleweight veteran. You were in camp with Shawn Porter when he fought Devon Alexander. What was it like being in camp with him and seeing him get that victory?
Man, honestly, I was talking to Kenny earlier, and I told Shawn this before the fight. Honestly, like, those guys are like family to me, you know what I mean? Like, it's been real since the moment we've known each other and we've been tight. And honestly, I felt like if I never get a world title shot, like, I got it through him, you know what I mean? And it felt good, you know what I mean? To see a good dude really get a shot and be able to make it, and just the two of them, man, like, it's a blessing.
How long have you known Shawn, and what have you seen in him over the years that told you he could be ready for a moment like this?
I known Shawn for a while. We're both from Ohio, but I say over the past, I don't know, I want to say 5 years, 6 years. Like, I want to say around that time when Shawn turned pro, they came to LA, and we've been tight ever since, man. Shawn's he's always been the same fighter, always been consistent. You know what I mean? Always been strong-willed. Just a nice, humble kid, you know what I mean, and just a hard worker, you know what I mean. When Kenny Porter is your coach, you don't have a choice but to be a hard worker.
So, and you saw a lot of his camps in Los Angeles with Pacquiao and stuff, right? What do you remember most about those camps, and what did you see in him that, you know, back then, if you could flash back?
Not just with Manny, it was bigger than that. Like, me and Shawn been sparring each other for years, you know what I mean? And we always went at it. Like on any given day, it could be either one of us, you know what I mean? And Shawn always knew when I sparred with Shawn, I had to be able to bring it, because his energy level was always good. You know, I remember being in Vegas, like, I wouldn't be in the gym, and, you know, they're in town, and of course, you know, like old times, Kenny, like, look, to spar, you know what I mean? And we get in there and we spar, man. Just seeing him spar with myself, Manny, like, he's always been an intense guy. You know, Shawn's one of those guys where he's real unassuming. Like, a lot of guys see Shawn, and Shawn's not the slickest guy in the world. You know what I mean? So they look at him and they think it's easy, but Shawn is very unassuming, very, very difficult to fight. You know what I mean? Strong. His speed is a lot better than people think. You know what I mean? And you don't win all those national titles and box that long and not know how to box. He's a very good boxer. You know, and he's just a good athlete. But his will, he's got Timothy Bradley will.
What did you see in the fight with Alexander, watching, you know, from the corner? How'd that fight unfold to you?
Exactly like we thought it would. You know what I mean? The whole camp has been the same thing. You know, it's been constant work. And, you know, a lot of people in the gym, and, you know, it was a lot of struggles through camp as far as, like, just pushing. You know, anybody in camp. Some days everything's gonna click, some days they're not, and that's part of training. You know what I mean? You knock out all the kinks in training. There's gonna be some days when there's gonna be controversy, everybody's gonna clash. There's gonna be some days when everything is smooth, but that's what the camp's for. And just seeing that, you know what I mean, and seeing everything unfold, or not unfold, but seeing everything come together. You know, everything we worked on in camp, Kenny's whole strategy, you know, that he came up with, and just it was just what we thought. But it was just kind of like, you know, how people say it's music to your ears. It was just like seeing it. It was just like, yeah, this is it.
Does this give you a new outlook on life, you know, like as a trainer, being part of, you know, as a team, more so than just a fighter?
But, you know, I always looked at it like anybody that's known me, you know, I wear a bunch of different hats, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of people in boxing from all the years, but I don't run around with a lot of people in the sense where I would be around and actually help. You know, when Kenny asked me to come and help, you know, be a part of it. It wasn't more so for my boxing knowledge. I mean, I think that was part of it, of course, but it was more so trust. You know what I mean? He trusted me, and he trusted me with Shawn, and just like I said, we all mesh, and just to be able to be a part of it, like, I've been around some great fighters, and, you know, I got a lot of knowledge myself, and I teach a lot of guys a lot of things, but just to be able to even learn from him, you know what I mean? Like Kenny's a good strategist, and like you said, it's a certain style for every fighter. Just to be able to see his methods and see his ways, be able to implement what I think, you know, be able to pick his brain. Like, it worked out well, and just to be a part of this team, I mean, we've always been a part of each other. So, you know, regardless if I was here or not for this, which I'm glad I am, you know, I was always Team Porter, always anyway. It's been a blessing to be a part of it.